So we talked about calypso as love language in carnival. But there's a lot of love language in carnival outside of the music. And I want to take the opportunity to talk about how and where we see love manifesting in carnival. And I don't just mean romantic love or heroes, I mean the other forms of love as well.
So I think there's a lot said about carnival with respect to resistance. And that is 100% correct. What I don't think is said enough about carnival, at least not in recent times, is how much carnival is about community. And I think community and communal love and that understanding that we are here for each other is what actually fuels resistance. Because if I am concerned only for myself, it is very easy for me to see injustice happening and say, well, that belongs with me, and I go and take care of myself. I'm gonna keep my head low. Let whoever that is, they go handle themselves. And that sense of always one is what makes resistance real. So, I think one of the major places that we see love in carnival is the sense of community.
Like Black said, pull somebody down, jam somebody down, make them your family. Make them your family. And they have people or go Nadia Batson, so long as I see you.
Yeah.
And that magic that we have carnival friends and families. You don't know them for the rest of the year.
Don't.
But you see them in every fest.
And you look forward to seeing them too.
Yeah, and you look forward to see them. It's
like,
not,
you
it's
know
not
who you see. It's like when I go X, I always see Y. It's like, where Y?
Yeah.
Hey!
Right? Yeah. And that is something we don't talk about a lot. It's also, I would say, the danger in it. So always one, always family sometimes gets co-opted as well. You know, to push specific agendas, but at its heart, at its core, carnival is a big community love fest.
Is it? We're all equal, but some of us are not equal.
Yes.
Yes.
But you know, we've heard stories of, for example, vagrants getting some love and action on a carnival Monday.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Once everybody happy.
Oh,
yeah. Feel the love, right? Can you feel the love that's in the air?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
actually, no, I was just talking before we came on, and we were talking about the Jumbie, and our student Lori was saying that people are experiencing this love that we're talking about now, and not recognizing that what they're feeling is not something that you could touch, like, for instance, alcohol, or that you could feel like music in your ear. It is literally something spiritual that is happening that we tend to call the carnival jumping.
Carnival jump.
And for those of us who are in tune to it, it is so real. Like, the trees greener, the air fresher, everything is just better.
You know, like when my first real memory of feeling that I was around 10 or so. And I think I talked about this in the last video, but I like to talk about it a lot. So I will say it again, I don't care, right? And it used to make me wet the plants. That was my show, right? And I'm standing up there by the standpipe, filling the bucket, and the air felt different. There's a point when Christmases disappear. and carnival is being the air. And that tingle, that feeling you can't describe, that's a love feeling. You know, if it's one thing we learn from romantic movies, when you see the one,
Yeah.
right, there's sparkle, there's something going on in the atmosphere. And every year for carnival, every year, in Trinidad, outside of Trinidad, wherever I am, and it's feeling.
Mm.
Is you're connected to it. It's like a spiritual needle string. And that is love.
See, the zombie is not external.
Mm.
The zombie is in us. You just come alive.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my time now. Come in.
Yes. Yes. Right. And so we talk community love. We obviously kind of sidestepping romantic love for the moment in Carnival. And we're talking about spirit, right? And so if you're going with the Greek terminology, right, leads me to think about agape, that divine love that we share as well, right? And I don't mean to offend any Christian who might say we're talking pagan business, but I honestly feel God's love manifests when we are gathered together in unity and having a good time. For sure.
Um, and one of the things that I always like to point out is the fact that in Trinidad Carnival in particular, the carnival is what you make it.
Mhm.
You bring to it what you want, and you amplify it in that space. I remember, this is, really left field, and it's out there. But Professor Liverpool telling us about Notting Hill Carnival and seeing a band, and the band was a band of nuns praying the rosary.
Mm.
So this was carnival for them. They came to carnival to fair them with rosary, walking through the streets, saying the rosary. And that's what it is for them.
Mm.
And nobody is upset with them. Nobody's like, what am I doing here? Because the Trinidad style carnival is literally, I want to get in trouble. But because it is so African in nature,
Mm.
it allows it to be so open to say to everybody, yeah, man, come through, you do your thing.
I don't
Right.
think people understand that the old story that Trinidad Carnival was French. And people don't understand that if Trinidad Carnival was French, we wouldn't be talking about Carnival. No. That African derived core, and I've started saying African derived out of respect for people who are more materialist.
Mhm.
They need to see the tangible evidence. And but this is coming out of philosophy, the philosophies that came across here that saw the world a certain way and dealt with the world a certain way. And it is far more open. I was joking with one of our other love Lamar.
Mhm.
And we were talking, and it's like, black people have a way of just, oh, you like that? Yeah, come on inside. You don't mind, come on, jam with us. And we do that a lot in this carnival space. And it is this recognition that you have divine energy in you. I have divine energy in that us,
Yeah.
that makes it love a lot easier to spread that kind of love. Right?
And that understanding of that divine energy is universal. I mean, every religious understanding starts with that
Yes.
each of the understanding that the human person is something special, that there's something residing in each person that is worthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that leads us to the other kind of love we see in carnival. And that's self-love. Right? And I would say that the affirmation we get from communal love or filial and divine love or agape, but also lead to this real sense of love in yourself. Because we don't just see the you that's pretending for 363 days of the year. You see the you in all your glory. Clothes no matter. That's not all we see when we see you on the street. Right? And like you say, the zombie, like you say, we don't even know what it is we feel it, right? We don't really know what we see either when we see people actually having a good time on the road. We're not just seeing the costume, we see beyond the costume.
Yeah.
And I think that's something to bear in mind in the midst of all the bacchanalia. What the bacchanalia reveals is an interiority or inner self that we will not get to see for the majority of the year. And we will probably never know if we didn't see it for camp.
For sure. The revelry that is very often looked down upon. It's funny. It's not easy to discuss, especially given our centuries of conditioning for what is right and what is proper and what is not. So that the fact is, I mean, we can't escape it. We already have built in us over centuries a sense of propriety.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes what we see definitely seems like, oh, well, that's a bit mature. So that the idea that what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling, I need to ignore. It's not easy to deal with. I don't even have an answer for that really, other than to say, be aware that the lens that you are observing this with has been tainted. You know? Yeah. I don't know.
Gives new meaning to live your life like you play maths.
Oh boy.
You know?
That's a hell of a line, eh?
Yeah.
Hell of a line.
That's all.
Right, that's all.
Man, I just remember, I will lie, I just remember the line.
Yeah, nice. I don't. I don't know. Google that, put it in here.
Yeah, we go Google it and we'll give you the answer. I'll just say, yeah, when we just come in and out and remember the line. You might even remember the feeling you had when you heard that line. But now that we're having this discussion, yes, you remember the name of the song, we're talking to our director.
That's a new song.
It's Living Life Like It's Right.
So that's, I know the singer, that's what Kessa even read it.
Hmm.
But I'm not sure who you write all of this. Maybe they both wrote it, 2 months. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I think that is poignant if we're talking about carnival as an expression of love, a love for your community, a love for yourself, that divine spark that you feel, you know.
You know the song from Bungie Garden, Covenant?
Yeah.
When I think about agape,
Mm-hmm.
because I think in Calypso, that song always comes to mind. It's such a beautiful expression of this understanding. I mean, of course, assuming that you are of that faith and that you share that understanding. But even outside of this specific, Judeo-Christian worldview, the song just really zeroes in on this understanding that there is a connection between us and God, and that connection necessarily means that we are called to have a connection between us. And it's really beautiful.
And it's good that we get to hopefully remember this. We definitely feel it. for the 2 days. And if we really tap into it, we remember it for the rest of the year and maybe start treating each other differently. And I think that's what it means to live your life like you're playing maths. That interconnectivity that you feel when you go out in the street, whether you're jumping a man or not.
There's the interconnectivity, there's the freedom of expression, there's the community that we spoke of. I mean, there's so much that is inherent in our carnival that if we were able to really tap into and draw on in our daily living, that would make our beautiful little country even more beautiful and even more powerful and poignant in all the ways that we continue to impact the world. We would have an even greater impact because there's something truly beautiful and special happening in this space that we, for whatever reason, the reason is usually colonialism. You have that. I'll leave it at, for whatever reason, we have been very shy and almost resistant to get in there and pull out these powerful parts of ourselves that are residing in our.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The integration aspect of it, so we go back to community love. We go talk about, we open the doors to everybody, and everybody then, when they come into the carnival space, it's some kind of indelible mark. And that everybody benefits from. And I can't say enough about how beautiful that is and how, sometimes we miss it. We miss that understanding for the rest of the year. And carnival is always a good reminder that, we get along more than we don't get along. Or as David brothers say, how you vote is not how you party.
True.
Right? And that's always been the case, how you vote is not how you party. And we as a country, we get along in this artistic love language kind of way. And I'm thinking about the other kinds of love that we find in carnival, and talked about some pretty big ones.
Before you go to the next,
Yeah.
I think it's important for us to guard what you just said, to really, really understand how important it is and has been for our sanity. And so that we need to be really careful that we don't allow political or religious forces, particularly political, to enter that space in a way that makes them now infiltrate the space with that same political bias.
Yeah.
You need to guard it jealously.
So that reminds me, just to build on your point, and to point out what still does not happen in the Trinidad carnival space. So I went to school in DC. We had a carnival because we love carnival so much. Anywhere Trinidadian goes, a carnival is sure to follow. Right? So a Trinidadian went to DC and a carnival followed. But what was interesting, and I saw it too in Labor Day, the mayor, like it's a full-fledged parade, like American style parade, sitting in the back of a convertible Cadillac, waving, handing out, vote for whoever, at one point, one year, he actually threw out beads, and he was just lucky he had security, because we don't throw beads. But, the car arrest went down, and that's in the country, so but yeah, I can see that. We don't do that. We don't
do that yet.
yet. Knock on wood.
That's why I say
We don't do that.
we need to jealously guard.
We jealously guard against that kind of co-option happen. So far we've been I suppose.
And especially since we started the conversation with Calypso. And Calypso has a long tradition of political commentary and strong political opinions. Calypsonians are not shy about saying what they feel about things, right? And so some may think that that is an invitation for politicians to enter the space. It is not. It is.
It's
Right?
not.
Just leave that right there.
Yeah, before we get in trouble. I wanted to say the last love to go on to, I think this would be the fourth major love that it's in Ghana was actually love of Ghana. In no small part because carnival is then shorthand for these different kinds of love that we talked about. But it's also that joy to see. What we didn't talk about, we didn't talk about kind of self-love and joy. This idea we could celebrate self as part of the self-love.
I thought you were doing the direction of Storgate, the familiar,
Familiar love,
which
it's
is
big than your family, yeah.
exactly, which is still, I think, about that love of carnival itself. So go back to when we said that Jambi is living in us. So that to love carnival is to love your family, is to love the people around you. And the West Indianness of it and the Africanness of it is, and not even just the Africanness of it, there's so many people who have come into this Caribbean space who have understood that family is extended.
Yes.
So that the idea of mommy, daddy, 3 children or 2 children, that is your family, that has never been our understanding of family. That is like some kind of new Western understanding.
Yes.
This family, when we talk about family, is not just your mother and your father and your siblings. It even goes beyond your auntie and your uncle and your cousins. It's literally anybody. Like, so if there's a child in your house, that's your brother.
Yeah.
Like, you just grew up so.
Yes.
People say, I have 6 children in this house. I cannot afford it. I said, what do I mean? That is that.
That's that. The whole village is a family, right? If you want name for relations, as you think in Calypso, and this is probably might sound like a weird one to pull, but man family.
I was in a similar place as Shadow. Come on, meet my family. Whoa.
Your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your makome, your compare, your tanti, your nenen, is extended. And like you say, loving carnival is loving your family, and we get that all of these one family, Nelson, and then we remake with Bunchen, right? And come and jump together, forget your differences, come and jump together, right? Or even if you played children's math, if you play Kitty Carnival, it's a big family production.
Yes.
My mother used to rule, as you see, live in a house and you have this family. So, like, technically, you have an adopted aunt, but I didn't find that out until I was an adult, and she wasn't actually blood related to us, because that's my aunt, those are my cousins. So she used to roll with her sisters, sorry, and it was their job to watch all of us while we were in the carnival space. So you had different adults you can hand off to, that kind of thing, right? And then the families coming out together, like it used to be, I'm not sure how much it still happens today, but it used to be the family would come out and picnic for carnival. You come in the stands, you have your baskets and you eat it and traditional pala and fried chicken, some of
think-
them eat that.
Unfortunately, in modern times, like families feel like there's less for them to see. And in some cases, unfortunately, there's too much for them to see. So
Yes, well, that kind of goes back to the that kind of Victorian
yeah,
morality. I won't be a geek if I didn't point out nuclear family starts with the Victorian era, right? And in the industrial age. Because even when we talk about
into sell things.
yes, made to sell things. So even when we talk about the colonizers coming across, that was extended family back in the day as well. Everybody that idea. Our 5 culture pillars, I like to call them, 5 major contributors to what we know in Trinidad and Tobago Carnival. So First Peoples, African, European, Asian, South Asian, right? They all believe in extended family.
Yeah.
And that was a lovely coalescing space in Carnival. And I'm also jokingly saying Carnival is show up like it. I've never explained this because I've been the aunt on the receiving end of this before, and I kept going to myself. I haven't bought you any present. I bring home any candy, nothing. But your eyes is light up because your favorite aunt or your favorite uncle visiting, and that's kind of just family popping up.
It's a beautiful family in Carnival. You have crews, all different kind of crew. Like there's a crew that is line with the Carnival. Like the next time I'll see you is next Carnival, but we know we move in. The other beautiful families, another beautiful family is supporters, particularly of pan sides. So you have the Phase 2 family, your Renegades family, your Hostess family, your EXO family, what it, right? And so all these people, like this sort of connection that you feel to this group of musicians, most of whom you do not even know. But your spirit is united with them for this period. And their winning and losing and how well they do affects you in the most unexpected way. Like, why am I actually sad? I do not even know them.
Yeah. Again, nothing by them winning and nothing by them losing. Not even bragging rights. And then when we had the beautiful experience of going on the North Pan crawl this year.
Yeah.
And also you would have seen it a little bit in the semis. Right? The Pan community itself, regardless of that, the big fast. Big family.
In every way.
Right.
They fight, they make up,
fight,
they love, they hate.
And I think it was Solo Harmonize speaking in seventies again after a long while. And going through some struggles. And when you look at, because everyone brands their pan. And when you looked at Solo Harmonize, I think it was Solo Harmonize played. They had other people pan.
Yeah.
They borrow pan. Right, and you would think, well, it's a composition, I know that my pan. But that's what they will do. They will lend your pan, in
Junior Calypso, when you come to perform, other performers, that's your background singers.
Yes. Yeah, we saw that at Sammy's Calypso Fiesta this year. Man just finished singing and walk on to be back up to the, so I was like, okay, but it's nice to see. It's nice to remember that this is a big family celebration. Pan with Calypso, and that's why we call them the Pan fraternity, the Calypso fraternity. Pay special attention to that word fraternity because it means, well, in the sexist language, brotherhood, but it means family. Right?
You said it's nice to remember, and I think emphasis on the word remember because it changes the way you experience the carnival. Just being aware of these things, being aware that this is a family celebration changes the way that you approach it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's so it remains for me to say thank you for sitting down and having this conversation with us. I hope it was enlightening with a very high standard. But yeah, I'm gonna say enlightening, entertaining, something to chew on, think about as we're sitting in the carnival space, what this festival really means. And it doesn't matter if you're playing, it don't matter if you watch everything from home, it don't matter if this was the first time you went to hear a pan knock, or you've never gone to hear a pan knock. Just being in Trinidad and Tobago during carnival is touching. Right?
And it's just so much of Trinidad Carnival. And by that I mean so many different things happening. I feel far too often what we are sold or what we are shown of Carnival is very narrow. And it being that narrow makes it so that people who are not invested in searching and finding more don't recognize how much some of the themes of love that we've been discussing are present in the Gael, in the Panyard, in mass camps, the ones that still exist. There's just a lot of love and community and recognition of the Jambi in you and in me that we share and that comes to us from that higher power and higher source. So yeah, it becomes more and more important for those of us who have recognized these things and who've had the opportunity to have these things revealed to us to do like the evangelist of old and spread that good word.
So that's what we're trying to do. So like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you next time on Who Knew?
This is the place to be, to learn about history. This is the place to be, to gain cultural identity. This is the place to be, research building our legacy. Carnival belongs to all our we. This is the place to be. Discover what's possible in UTT's Master of Arts in Carnival Studies.